Hi guys, Team Elvis. So, we're going to have a bit of a serious live stream about, guess what? We're here to defend Lisa Marie Presley. That's why we're here, guys. So, who we got on? Lorna, Stacey, Deborah, Karen, Pat. Hi guys, welcome. Defending Elvis Presley. So I woke up very early this morning. I did, I think, a couple of videos here. I did a couple over Elvis Presley fan on keto. Hello there, Elvis Presley fan. How are we going? So I haven't been on this late for a while, have I, guys? So I thought what we would do, we'd start off by just playing this little video popped up. I thought, oh, I haven't watched this, guys. Do any of you recognize this? I've never watched this. I thought, oh, let's play it. But we are going to reread chapter 29. I'm pretty sure it was chapter 29. Let me just double check. I think it's too important. We have to defend. We have to defend Lisa Marie. We have to expose the wrongdoing, alleged wrongdoing of Michael Edwards. And I just think we're going to do it now. I'm just missing one book. 1 second. Let me just go over there and get another book. Let's have a look. Let me get my book. Okay. That's better. So I just thought we'd play the little short interview. Alright, got my books, guys. We can't defend Lisa Marie unless we've got our lovely book. This book, Truth. This says it all. I found this book in my loft. I had this book basically 25, 30 years ago. Yeah, maybe longer. I did read it when I bought it. Probably in the early 90s, I think I bought that book. Maybe 89, 90, I bought that book. So, how is everyone? How's Carolyn? So, we haven't been on together this late for ages, guys. So, I did some song reactions today. I did Don't, which I thought was hilarious. My daughter, it's her favourite song, one of her favourite songs, Yasmin. She jumped in on it. And then I did... we did some 50s reactions, which I just found really fun. I really enjoy doing the song reactions, like really. I enjoy them a bit too much. Have any of you guys watched the song reactions? It's like, I'm having too much fun doing the song reactions. I've just been chatting with Hidden Minds. He's given me a few tips. Hidden Minds, the YouTube channel. He's given me a few tips with the song reactions. But Rose Finney gave me a brilliant idea. Hi, Tony. How are you? So, hi, everyone. Team Elvis, love you all. While I design work, do it for Lisa Marie. Yeah. We're going to go through it all again. I think I don't feel that just one episode is enough. I think we have to keep plugging, so we're going to do that. So Rose Finney, she's probably watching us now. Rose, she come up with a brilliant idea. She wants me to, let me just read you her message. Rose, I don't want to embarrass you, but Rose came up with a very simple idea about song reactions. Let me see if I can get her name up. She said, she says, where is it? Oh, the message is gone. Let's have a look. Oh, the message, I can't see the message, but she basically said, can you sing some very early, song reacts to some very early 50s songs from the Louisiana Hayride. And I thought, oh yes, I'd love to do that. Find some really old mid-50s tunes. And she sent me a loads. And I'm going to do them, not now, but I'm going to do them tomorrow. Not all of them, but I'm going to do all the songs, but I'm going to go through them one at a time. Tweedledee, Hearts of Stone, When It Rains, It Really Pours, My Happiness, we all know that. That's When Your Heartache Began. It Wouldn't Be the Same Without You. Oh, I know that one. I love that one. Fool, Fool, Fool. I'm Left, You're Right. She's Gone, the slow version. Yeah. And then she sends me a thing of the full albums. I'm gonna go through all those songs for Rose. Rose really helps me. She sends me loads of information. I'm very grateful to Rose. Rose, I'm very grateful to you. You're the best. And the other idea I thought was a good idea, playing all the B-sides of, I'm slowly getting used to them, Karen, you know, but I want to find all of Elvis's popular songs and play the B-sides. I'm going to do a whole load of side B, and it actually was suggested by a subscriber. Let me see if he'll come up on here. A subscriber said it to me, and I thought, oh, what a great idea. Let me just see if it comes up. He did a comment. It must be on the other channel. Let me just switch over. He did a comment on a reaction I did. Let's just see if it comes up. Let's see. Trying to find it. See who it was. No, I can't see who it was. I think it was Sean or Steve. Come on, where is it? Where is it? And he said about playing the B-sides. I thought, yes, the B-side. So I'm going to do some B-sides. Yeah, I want to play some old stuff. Right, okay. So, right, let's have a look. Right, I thought I stumbled on this. I haven't watched it yet, so I thought, let's just play it. I've got to put my earphones on because otherwise it feeds back. Now, I'm trying to, otherwise you get an echo. So what I realised was, instead of having it all dangling here over my top, I can just I only need one ear in. I could just put it like that. I don't need this bit. This bit's not needed. So then I've got this white dangly thing hanging down me. So I hope everyone is well. Let's have a little go at this. Now let me know. Actually, I'll get you up on here. So I'm going to get you up on here so that I can read your comments. There we go. Switch. Okay. Here we go. Right, I've got you on now. I'll just turn that down. I can see who you are. Right. Hi everyone. Hi Deborah and Stacey and Elizabeth, and Tonya, Carolyn, Karen, Tony. Just obviously anyone that's watching as well. Lorna. Have I missed anyone? Debbie. I think that's it. Just checking. Karen, yeah. Okay, right. I'm going to play this. I've never heard it before. Let's see if it's any. Let's just see Lisa looking beautiful. I hope she doesn't say anything that we don't like. Let's give it a go, guys.
Lisa Marie Presley joins us in studio this morning. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Do you ever get used to being interviewed or doing interviews? Because, you know, as we mentioned, you've been famous since the day you were born, and really you've tried to keep a private life as much as you were able, and your mother tried to keep your life as private as possible. Do you get used to it at all?
Well, the thing is when I do interviews now, it's you know, it's very, there's a window of time. You know, when I put a record out, so I know there's a lot of press, and it's a very short period of time that I'll be doing this thing, you know, and I kind of prepared for it before this whole, you know.
So you're saying when you're coming in here this morning, okay, I'm only going to be here and they'll be gone.
No. I mean, like all the interviews, you put the record
Right.
on, like the machine starts rolling. You know, you have to do the rounds and do the press tours and start doing, you know, the talk shows and stuff like that. I focus on, you know, it's like I have to start focusing in on, okay, now it's time, and it's a designated time, and I'll be promoting the record, and don't forget that along the way, and that's what I'm doing here.
Well, and speaking of the record and some of the songs, you've referred to them as middle finger songs. How
Yeah, that's a new one that came to me the other day.
come? How come?
Well, because I can't say the F word on TV.
But but it's not, I mean, there's some anger in here, but there's also some really nice sentiment too about looking back, and there's one even dedicated really to your mom.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean that the whole record was like that.
No.
I think someone was asking me about a particular song, and I just explained it. That's how I described it. So, yeah.
And what about the one that you wrote with your mother in mind?
Yeah, that just happened one day, and she was very emotional about it, and I thought it was important because I didn't write one about her on the first record, and it didn't make it on anyway. And I just got inspired because we did sort of come a long way, and I'm sure that other, you know, mothers and daughters can relate to this particular thing, you know.
Well, many mothers and daughters obviously have times in their lives where they're closer than other times, but
So, you know, it's appropriate that she does this because even this book here, even From Here to the Great Unknown, it says that they had times when they got on. I think there was one time when Lisa took Priscilla with her on the tour bus with her band members, and Priscilla spent the whole time looking after everyone. So they did have on and off times, didn't they? I think I always say this, no matter how wrong family get things, you always make up in the end because it's blood. It's mum, it's gran, it's cousin, it's uncle, it's auntie, it's brother, it's sister. I think all of us have been through this, where we've made up with relatives and friends that have wronged us, but you make up because it's family, you love them. Yeah, unconditional love, even when they make serious mistakes. But us here at Defending Elvis are the purpose of us here at Defending Elvis Presley is to expose the wrongdoing to Elvis and to Lisa Marie and who did it. So the alleged wrongdoing of Michael Edwards. We want justice for Lisa Marie. So it's funny how this little section talks about they were going through a good phase. Obviously, Lisa here looks beautiful. I'm guessing she's just about to start launching her music career. It looks like it's 2005. We can work out how old she was there. I think she started in her mid-30s, but we can work it out. She was born in 1968, so that basically she's about 36, isn't she? Yeah, do we agree with that? So it's funny how she says, "Oh, you know, I wrote a song because we've been through a lot." It's almost like she had grown to accept the wrongdoing. She had put it away, put it in a cupboard and said, it's in the past. It doesn't matter. But it did matter. It did matter. And the reason we now know it matters is because now, in hindsight, you know, with the gift of hindsight, we can look back over the last, you know, since that interview, 2005, to the day she died, 2000, you know, she was troubled. Lisa was troubled. She had many happy times. She had, you know, she boasts about how much she loved marrying Michael Jackson. Believe it or not, when I've looked into it, that was one of the happiest times of her life. She had many happy times. But underneath all that, underneath the veil, the abuse, I think, always affected her. I think that the alleged sexual abuse of Michael Edwards, Priscilla's boyfriend, her lover, sort of stepfather to Lisa Marie for 6 to 7 years. underlying everything, affected every aspect of her life. I really believe that. Even though she swallowed this pill to say, oh, I still love you, Mum. You can't change what happened. You can't change what happened. It happened. It damaged. It did have a ripple effect. The consequences of being in that, in that unsafe environment. Don't forget, Priscilla's job was to keep Lisa safe. Even more when Elvis passed. And she did the opposite. She did the opposite. She'd already done it once when she left Elvis in 71 to go and live with Mike Stone, the karate champion, and dragged Lisa Marie away from Elvis. Yeah, that's how I see it. Already she's in an unsafe environment. She's in a stranger's house. And then a few years later, she's living with Michael Edwards, a complete stranger. Just because he's good looking, he's a model, he's an actor. I do believe Priscilla was infatuated with Michael Edwards. I do. I think she would have done anything for Michael Edwards. And we feel as fans, there's a chance. It's half admitted in this book that she sort of knew what was going on with the alleged abuse. She sort of knew. We're going to read that in a minute. So I feel that we still must demand justice for Lisa Marie, no matter what the circumstances are. Priscilla is not our parent. She's not my mum. I don't have to make up with her. We as fans, Priscilla isn't blood. So Lisa Marie had no choice. You're always going to make up with family. Almost always. We do have a choice. Our choice at defending Elvis is to expose the wrongdoing. And we are, and we're going to do it in a minute reading this. But let's just let this play out a bit, guys.
But you have to, again, live this out on the public stage to some degree. Are you pretty close now?
We're very close now, yeah. I never thought that would happen because we're such the opposite of each other. But
see, I never thought that would happen. We're such the opposite of each other. And they are opposite. But in the end, blood does win out. Surely you guys here watching now, many of you have, how can I say it, made up with friends, family, cousins, uncles, aunties, mum, dad, under very bad circumstances. Time passes. They say time heals. I don't really think it heals. I think as time passes, you just forget and the memory subsides, but it's always there. It's always there. I've had some bad stuff happen to me. And in the end, you let it go, don't you? You let it go because it's blood. But we're not blood. We're Elvis fans. We're Lisa Marie fans. We don't have to let it go, do we, guys? So, Debbie, she kept herself safe and needs first. Priscilla never did anything good for Lisa. She just went all at Lisa's money. I agree. Teresa, I agree that Priscilla is very money hungry. She's very money hungry. I totally agree. Tony, yes, that's true. Making up with family, even if they have been abusive, it's very hard. It just happens, doesn't it? I'm not going to go into it now, but obviously I had some serious difficulties with my dad. But in the end, me and my dad were like friends. Before he died, my dad died when I was quite young. I was in my 30s. I think I was 32 or something. But we were actually friends when he died. But a lot of abuse happened. Yeah? And for years of abuse. But in the end, we were friends. You do make up with blood. It's just the way it is. Not everyone makes up, but generally 5 years pass, 10 years pass, 20 years pass. But we don't have to, because Priscilla isn't our mum. So we the fans can defend Lisa happily. We can defend Elvis happily without thinking, oh, we have to make up because it's our mum. You get it? She's not a relative. She's not a friend. So we can be unbiased and we can expose all the wrongdoing. We can expose all the horrible lies that I've said about Elvis. We can expose how the truth has been twisted to try and support Priscilla, to try and make Priscilla look like the victim. Because in this book, Lisa says she felt unloved, unwanted by her own mother. She obviously talks about the abuse, the alleged abuse of Michael Edwards as well. So this book is truth. Let me just read a few of your comments. We are Elvis and Lisa fans, and we do not have to let go. Yeah, we don't. That's it, Elizabeth. Let's have a look. Pray. Right, so there we go. Tony says, praying, Louis, forgiveness. It helps heal your soul with family. It definitely does. Hi, Chris. I remember once Elvis said Lisa was the love of his life. Priscilla face sunk. I think that begun the resentment and Priscilla towards Lisa. Hi, Chris. Chris, I just want you to know, everyone say hello to Chris. Chris has sent me some fantastic comments. Like, it would take me days to go through these comments. And Chris's comments are very detailed, very informative. I'm pretty sure you guys all read Chris's comments because they're all on our YouTube channel on Defending Elvis Presley. And brilliant. Chris, thank you so much for your comments. I always read every single comment, always. And I'd love to read them out as well. Chris is in Michigan. So Chris, we've found the book. Now, usually, I get, certain books, if I read them, I get told off, yeah? Here's one. If I read this book, I get told off, especially chapter 2, okay? But today we are defending Lisa Marie. We love Lisa Marie. We miss Lisa Marie. And we are going to read the alleged sexual abuse in this book. Let's just play the rest of this interview and then we'll start looking at it.
But, she loves coming on the road with me, which is funny. At first when she was coming out, I heard she was coming and I was like, how long is she staying here? Because we don't, she's on the bus with us and everything. We don't really get along. So anyway, that was kind of the moment where she came out and she was like this natural, I don't know, road mom. And she was taking care of the band and making coffee for the bus driver.
I've heard this
story.
story.
She was like really helping me out, and I don't know, our whole relationship just turned around and it was kind of fun. So.
Well, and it's obviously all a learning process as we go through these things. And talking about learning and going through on the public stage and learning from previous very high-profile marriages that you went through, that everybody gathered and read everything that they could about. Do you look back at that and say you learned, or you shouldn't have, or you should have?
I think everyone has their history in their lives, and the nature of mine is that it's going to be in the public eye, and and the nature of those particular things that I had to go through were also very.
And I'm not going to read it now, but there's quite a good section in this book, isn't there? Talking about the marriage to Michael Jackson. Believe it or not, do you know what? I'll be honest with you, when I first heard about the marriage with Michael Jackson, I was a bit shocked. I was taken aback. I thought the whole thing was fake. I did, honestly, guys. I've always had strong opinions about the awkwardness of the marriage with Michael and Lisa. But at the same time, I was a Michael Jackson fan my whole life. I was a Michael Jackson fan all through the 70s and 80s, yeah? And even the 90s, yeah? So it's an awkward one. But when you read this book, there was a genuine love there. And I watched Riley Keough being interviewed the other day, actually. I think we played on here. Is it called Call Her Daddy? Is that what it's called? Call Her Daddy. And she said they were in love. It was a genuine relationship. Riley Keough's own words. She witnessed it. I know she was very young, but to her it felt real. So very interesting, guys.
Public, so people. So I don't think my life's that much different than anybody else's. Mine's just focused on more. And then if I, double team with someone else who's got their own fame, then that's just going to be a big, public, crucifixion.
Yeah.
Or, it just invites people's opinions and then they can judge you, because it's all out in front of everybody. And then, but everyone's got their crap, pardon my language, and their lives and their mistakes and their, experiences. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
Is there something about you that you think people don't know about? Like, is there a part of Lisa Marie Presley the public doesn't know? that would be nice if they did? I mean, I don't know, maybe what kind of mom you are or have been.
I think the public is going to be so aware of who I am after this press run that they're going to be sick of me and want me to go away soon.
I hardly think so. But we're looking forward to your performance off the Now What CD. Thanks for coming into studio
Thank
this
you
morning.
for having me.
Great to have you.
Okay,
on.
guys.
We'll
I
be
just
right
wanted
back on
to just
Canada AM.
play just something a bit
Presley joins us
normal
in studio this
for Lisa, even though we're going to talk about quite a horrible subject. I just wanted to, she looks so beautiful there. She's just embarking on her career. Yeah, obviously it took her a long time before she got the confidence to say, look, I'm going to do this. I'm going to perform. I'm going to write music. I'm going to do it my way. Yeah. Lisa's way. So I have to, respect that she did that, even though she was 35, 36. So Chris just said about, a comment to do with, yes, Elvis took Lisa to see Michael Jackson when she was a child. It's very interesting. Yeah, I know about this. Karen, I thought the marriage was all for show and loved Michael Jackson, like said, and she really loved Michael Jackson. Don't know about the other way around, though. Michael Jackson did love Elvis a lot. You know, Karen, I get it. It's very complicated. I can't speak for Michael Jackson. Yeah. But in this book, she genuinely liked him. And they actually stayed friends for longer, didn't they? They were friends after the divorce. Yeah. I think Lisa always tried to have a relationship with her mother, but she probably got sick of trying because they were too different. Lisa said things how they were in her mother and lied a lot. Yeah. I think Priscilla brainwashed Lisa. I really do. I think it was a very gradual, slow thing going way back in the 70s. And I think that Lisa felt that Priscilla had saved Graceland. Priscilla had saved Elvis's legacy. And it was her idea to open the museum. I think Lisa fell for it. I think Lisa felt indebted to Priscilla. But the truth is, she didn't save Gracelands. It wasn't her idea to do the museum. And there are many tragic things that Priscilla did to Lisa. The biggest one that stands out to me, obviously, is the alleged abuse of Michael Edwards. But it goes back further. You know, when poor Lisa Marie is just a baby, still in nappies, Mum, Priscilla, is seeing the dance instructor in 1968, before the 68 comeback special. And then 18 months later, she's running down the road skipping with the karate champion, Mike Stone, dragging Lisa away from her father. So there's so much wrongdoing even then. Now, once we start talking about the divorce settlements, the greed with Elvis Presley Enterprises, and it just goes on and on. The greed with Barry Siegel as well, Lisa's manager. There's just so much. And then if we jump right forward, and then we've got her trying to contest Lisa's wishes that her children get everything, where Priscilla is still grabbing for herself. It's always, to me, it's always about Priscilla. For me, I come first. The money is for me. The power is for me. The men are for me. You know, she cast off Lisa to Scientology so she could get on with her own life, leaving Lisa with Michael Edwards, the abuser, alleged abuser, for weeks on end. Just too much. With Priscilla, just too much. Me. I come first. I'm what matters. Too much. And the fans know. It took the fans a long time. Because I honestly do believe that many millions of fans and non-fans were brainwashed by this book of lies. This book is the biggest con in history. It's the most successful con ever written. It rewrote history. And how unfair is that, where Elvis couldn't even defend himself? She could say what she wanted. No one was going to disagree with Priscilla, the almighty power of Graceland. the ruler of Elvis Presley Enterprises. Who was going to disagree with her? Everything had to go through Priscilla. Everything. So you won't get Jerry Schilling, Joe Esposito, Charlie Hodge. You won't get them disagreeing with Priscilla. You won't get them saying bad things about Priscilla because she has all the power. For 40 years, she had all the power. So she was the ruler. This is why when you see her on interviews around the world over the last 4 decades, everyone is kissing her ass, treating her like she's a victim. They're treating Priscilla like she was Elvis's wife when he died. They don't even mention the divorces. They don't mention the unfaithfulness. They don't mention the greed with the money. They don't mention the fact that she tried to contest Lisa Marie's wishes when she died. They just don't mention it. They don't mention all the negative stuff. Priscilla never admits wrongdoing. When do you ever see Priscilla sit on a show being interviewed and say, oh, I did wrong. I did wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, that was a mistake. When did you ever see Priscilla go, well, actually, I lied in the book. Some of the things in this book are not true. When do you ever see Priscilla blame herself for the marriage breakup? Never. Never. So, we're here to defend Lisa Marie, and we are going to read chapter 29 of this book. We've read it before, but I feel that we have to read it again. I want to defend Lisa Marie. It's all in this book. We will read sections of this book as well, but not today. It's in the book. She's not lying. Lisa Marie is not lying. She put it on tape. She asked Riley to finish the book. Her own words. This happened to me whilst Priscilla was in charge of me. My parent, Priscilla, this happened. Don't forget, there's a big difference here. This is 1989. This is 2024. But the things that she says in this book are the same as what I said in this book. So, this is what Priscilla does when the media asked her about what Lisa did or said. She laughs and says something like, something is wrong with Lisa. Yeah, she laughs and says, I love her to death, and giggles with her son Navarone. The one thing that we know is that we have never seen any grief, genuine grief from Priscilla for losing her daughter. None. None. Even the way that she stormed into the Graceland book signing with Nicole Richie and Riley, all sat there in Gracelands, in the room, you know, the giant building in front of Gracelands, to promote this book. And what happens? Priscilla comes in and steals the show. Everyone gives her a standing ovation, and she spends 20 minutes slagging off her daughter, saying, oh, you know, come on, you know, she says things she regrets. And she spends her whole time playing the victim, belittling Lisa, when the whole point of that Graceland book signing was to promote the book From Here to the Great Unknown. It wasn't to promote Priscilla. Priscilla turned it into a promote Priscilla. She was trying to mitigate the damage done by this book, because this book did do some damage. Unfortunately, we feel that this book has been forgotten and brushed under the carpet, and the horrible things that have been said have been ignored. There's been no one has defended Lisa. No one has said, right, come on, this happened, let's do something about it, you know, let's get the authorities involved, you know, let's expose this alleged abuse of Michael Edwards, the model, the actor, the guy in the Terminator. Nothing. It's been forgotten. I can honestly say it has been forgotten. Do we agree? No one's doing anything about it. I don't think even other channels are talking about it now. I think we are one of the only channels that keep demanding justice for Lisa Marie. We keep bringing it up. We mention it nearly every day. We want justice for Lisa Marie. Don't we, guys? We mention it nearly every day. Right. So, Priscilla wrote many comments of people who died, but never wrote anything as nice about her own daughter. What she read at the funeral was written by Finley and Lisa. Yeah. Yeah. I know that Finley and Harper truly love their mum. I watch their Instagram. I see all their posts. They truly love their mum. And Riley, especially Riley lately, the last 2 or 3 interviews I've seen with Riley, she's much more relaxed and she really does pour out her heart and she really describes Lisa in a beautiful way. Even Riley's starting to sort of get a feel for showing the fans that she truly loved her mum. She loved her life. So we have to give Riley a chance. Riley, Finley and Harper, they are the blood relatives of Elvis. They are Lisa's kids. We are going to defend them. We're going to be there for them. They will make mistakes. They will make mistakes. But we have to be there for them. So Riley said Lisa left about 100 tapes. I believe she will write another book when Priscilla is gone. I hope so. I hope so. Priscilla never cared about what happened to Elvis and Lisa. She only cares about herself and money. I know, Teresa, I know. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to start reading this. I don't have that much longer, so I need to read this. Now, the purpose of tonight's live stream on Defending Elvis is to defend Lisa. That's why we're reading this. If anyone has gone through this, I send you love. I know it's difficult, guys, but we're going to do this. Okay, so it took me a while. I found the book accidentally in my attic, and it took me. I could not find it. I was going through, couldn't find it, and then I just stumbled on it on a live stream the other day that we did, and I read this. The last time I read this was probably 25 years ago. The last time I read this, yeah. So we read this a few days ago. I wanted to read it one more time. I think we have to. Now remember, this is Michael Edwards' book, Michael Edwards' words. Michael Edwards has made a public statement, I think with his daughter as well, that this did not happen, that he regrets that the things that were put in this book. We know about the Howard Stern interview where Lisa tells Howard Stern, even though I can't stand Howard Stern, he's sick, but Lisa tells Howard Stern that there was abuse, doesn't she? We know, we believe Lisa. Now we have to say this is all alleged, but we believe Lisa. Don't we, guys? We believe Lisa. Yeah? So it's pretty obvious it happened, but we have to say that it's alleged, it's for entertainment purposes, and that it's our opinions. We have to do that. So let's read Michael Edwards' own words. Hi, Josie. Right. Ever since that afternoon, I'd photographed Lisa, and my affection for her had grown to the point that it had become an issue in my relationship with Priscilla. So I think the more we read this, the more twisted it gets. To me, this is proof that it happened. That's how I see it. Once, when Priscilla and I were sitting at the dinner table and Lisa was sitting between us, Lisa got up to get something from the refrigerator. Her bare knee accidentally brushed against my hand. It sent waves of desire through me. Now remember, guys, this is, I think he was 36. Lisa would have been how old? 12, 13? Yeah? And he says, her bare knee brushed accidentally against my hand. It sent waves of desire through me. Now come on. We are defending Lisa. We want justice for Lisa Marie. To anybody watching this that may be connected to the authorities in any way, please do something about it. Even Priscilla Presley, as the parent responsible for Lisa, Priscilla needs to be questioned about this. She needs to be questioned. Come on, guys. I've heard that she's rewriting the book, but I think the public is starting to wise up a bit about Priscilla. She's done quite a few very serious things recently. I think they're starting to get it, you know. She shows no grief for her daughter. The public are they that stupid? I hope not. I looked at Priscilla and thought, can't you see what's happening? I've fallen in love with your daughter. I'm going to repeat it. I looked at Priscilla and thought, can't you see what's happening? I've fallen in love with your daughter. I mean, come on, guys. This is Michael Edwards, his book. I don't know why at the time that the authorities didn't do anything then. This is 1989. It's obviously highly illegal what happened. Why didn't anyone do anything back then in 1989? I don't get it. Is this to do with the power of Priscilla? Is this to do with Scientology? Guys, what do you think? How did she get away with it? Seriously, how did she get away with it? So, I repeat, can't you see what's happening? I've fallen in love with your daughter. Lisa was reaching womanhood now. When we walked on the street, men turned around and looked back at her. She developed curves all over. With her sandy blonde hair and milky complexion, she was quite a sight. Now, and she's tiny, isn't she, Lisa? Even then, at the age 12, 13, 14, 15, she was tiny. So I've never thought of her as a curvy person. She developed curves all over. She was tiny. She was quite a sight. I was with Lisa constantly, and after school and in the evenings when her mother was working, I'd have to put an end to our swimming together. After one disturbing afternoon in the pool, Lisa had innocently thrown her arms around me and we were jumping up and down. And when we got into the deep water, her feet couldn't touch the bottom. Let's have a look. Wrapped her legs around me and we continued playfully bouncing up and down. I became aroused. Come on, guys. Surely this is enough. Surely. It's like, come on. Hi, Helen. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Luann. I feel sick. No, a sick feeling crept slowly into the pit of my stomach and I was craving Lisa sexually. Look, he says it. I was craving Lisa sexually. He says it more than once. I was in love with your daughter. I've fallen in love with your daughter. I was craving Lisa sexually. I was aroused by her knee brushing against my hand. Come on, guys. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Why has nothing been done? I tickled her and pushed her away and told her to take a shower and we'd get dinner and ready for her mother. I watched her glistening. Oh my, it gets worse. It gets worse, guys. I watched her glistening wet body as she ran up the steps, past the garden and disappeared inside the house. What is that? The girl is like 13 or something. Never entered my mind they were looking at her because she was Elvis's daughter. Not everyone sick like him. The way that the wording, I mean, he obviously isn't a great book writer, but I watched her glistening wet body as she ran up the steps. He's writing about a 13-year-old kid. This book was sold to the public. I don't know how many copies it sold, but didn't the public in 1989 think, oops, something's wrong here. We better do something about it. Why did the public not do something about it? I don't get it. He's at least 4 things we've read that are disgusting about the abuse of a minor, and it was no one did anything. No one did anything. Chris, I agree with you. It is horrible. It is horrible. But this is how we defend. We defend by exposing, so that we hope for justice for Lisa. We hope. Remember, we're called Defending Elvis Presley. That is the name of this channel. We are here to expose the wrongdoing to Elvis, to Lisa, and any other wrongdoing that affects Elvis. So we're going to have to read it. I'm not going to read the whole book, but we're going to read and we're going to expose it. Everything was out of control, and I realized I had to get away from all this, the house and Lisa and even Priscilla. One night, not long after, Priscilla and I returned home after having a horrendous argument over my drinking and her getting roses from Julio. I'm guessing that's Julio Ingles, is it? She went into the bathroom and I went to see Lisa's room. I wanted someone to talk to. So here's some more abuse, yeah? I've never forgotten any of it since I read it years ago, and we posted comments back then that Edwards should have been arrested. But why wasn't he, Chris? It doesn't make sense. Why wasn't he? I read it, but I read it so long ago. I think I read it in 1989. And I have a very distant memory of reading it. I don't know if I can't remember my reaction. I probably just didn't believe it. I probably just thought, oh, it's just one of Priscilla's lovers trying to get revenge or something. I don't really know. It was so long ago. We don't know, do we, Chris? We don't know. Helen. Let's have a look. So, my drinking was getting... Right, so she went into the bathroom and I went to Lisa's room. I wanted someone to talk to, but Lisa was asleep. I lifted the corner of the covers and gazed at her, and she was lying on her back, and her honey-coloured hair was spread over the pillow, and she was my beloved, and I couldn't even tell her. That's just he's basically saying I loved her and I couldn't tell her. Now, this sort of is in the book, isn't it? In the book, she says that she pretended she was asleep. Yeah? She pretended that she was asleep because she hoped nothing would happen. That is so strange, who worked together with Michael Edwards to sit and write out a book about a grown man with a little girl. Yeah. Even the editor, I agree. Who is the editor? Who did he write it with? I don't actually know. But I'm just surprised that a massive publishing company would allow this. This book shouldn't have even been allowed. I wanted to talk, where are we? So the next morning I woke up with a hangover, alone in the bed, and I opened my eyes and saw Priscilla and Lisa sitting on the white embroidered sofa at the foot of the bed, and they were both grinning, and I caught the end of their conversation. It was something to do with Elvis, and Lisa was saying, bless his sick little old self. What's going on, I asked. Why did you go to Lisa's room last night? I wanted to talk to her, I said. So Priscilla says, what about? You and I argued so much I needed to talk. Priscilla looked at Lisa and said, Lisa, did you have any questions? Now remember, in the book, From Here to the Great Unknown, Lisa gives the indication that the mum brushed it off as a spanking for being naughty. Now, in here, there's sort of an admission that Priscilla thought something wasn't right. Yeah? Now, this is the bit that worries me about this book. Obviously, From Here to the Great Unknown. And that is, this has been put in the book. The whole world this book was a massive bestseller. Bestseller in the New York Times, bestseller in Amazon. Riley Q went out of her way to do a book tour, which was very successful. So everyone knows, don't they? Everyone knows about this alleged abuse that may have took place. We believe Lisa. But everyone's carrying on as if nothing happened. Everyone's carrying on as if this did not happen. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So anyway, so Priscilla looked at Lisa and said, Lisa, do you have any questions? Yeah, Lisa said. Why did you lift up the sheets? So this proves that she was pretending to be asleep, yeah? I wanted to pour my heart out to Lisa and beg Priscilla to understand. I cared so much for Lisa. The feelings I had for her, I knew I would never have for another. The feelings, this is a 36-year-old man, and she's 12. The feelings I had for Lisa, I knew I would never have for another. Everything about her was exactly as I wanted in a woman. Everything about her was, let me just read that bit again. The feelings I had for her, I knew I would never have for another. Everything about her was exactly what I wanted from a woman. It just doesn't make sense, does it? It's like he's talking about an adult. It's like he's talking about a 30-year-old woman. You would never think he's talking about little Lisa. I just wanted to see you, Lisa, I said. I'm really sorry if I scared you. And you have my word, it won't happen again. Everything seemed okay after that. But a short time later, Priscilla told me that she didn't feel it was a good idea for Lisa and me to be alone in the house. So that tells you that Priscilla knew something was wrong. I'll repeat that bit. Everything seemed okay after that, but a short time later, Priscilla told me that she didn't feel it was a good idea for Lisa and me to be alone in the house. So she knew. Come on, guys. Many of you have said it to me. Priscilla had a feeling it was going on, didn't she? Didn't she? That's what I'm reading. I actually think that in some ways this book connects to this book. You know, the bit about the alleged abuse. You can see the comparisons. You can see, I think, yeah? I think this book exposes this book. That's how I see it. Yeah. So then she asked me to explain what there was between Lisa and me. So even that, Priscilla asked me to explain what there was between Lisa and me. So we are getting a feeling here that she knew, that Priscilla knew, aren't we? Yeah? The responsible parent, the person there to protect Lisa, to keep Lisa safe. Elvis has passed. Priscilla is a very wealthy woman. She's got the world at her feet. And she's more interested in pursuing a life of acting, of promoting products, TV, than being with her daughter, than being with Lisa. She palms off Lisa to summer camps, to Scientology. She leaves Lisa alone with Michael Edwards for weeks while she pursues her career, her need for fame, her need for spotlight, her need for money for other men. Because I've read that they had an open relationship and she had a one-night stand with Richard Gere, but they were seeing other people. I've read there was cocaine involved, a lot of partying involved. And all of this is going on from a parent of Lisa Marie, Elvis Presley's only child. No? It's just too much, isn't it, guys? So She asked me to explain what was between Lisa and me. I wanted to tell her I was in love with Lisa, and how do you tell the woman that you're in love with that you're also in love with her daughter? I realized this was one thing I couldn't discuss with Priscilla. Now you think about it, guys. Now in 1989, so what is this? Are we saying this is, I'm trying to work it out. This is well over 10 years. This was written, guys, how many years after the abuse do you think this book was written? If this book was written in 1989, yeah, well, what year was she living with Michael Edwards? Wasn't it 1978? Did she get with Michael Edwards in 1978? So this book was only written, I'm just trying to work it out. How many years after was this book written, after Priscilla had split up from Michael Edwards? Does any of you, can you do the maths? I would say it could have been, if this book was written in 1989, definitely 7 or 8 years after the abuse took place. So, so Chris, do you know? So you think about it. I'm trying to work out the maths now. So Josie says, did they split up in 1984? So this book was written in 1989. So this book was written 5 years after the abuse. Do we agree with that, guys? Does that make sense? Yeah, but obviously they were Priscilla and Michael Edwards were together for 6 to 7 years, weren't they? Yeah? So you work it out, guys. This book could have been written 5 years after the abuse. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. So the thing I've noticed, we've just been reading this for the last 15 minutes, yeah? But what I'm noticing is that he keeps repeating how much he loved Lisa. Seriously. I've read about 7 different times. I've only just realized this. I've read about 7 different times that he keeps saying how much he loved Lisa. So is this a message to Lisa? Because he keeps saying it. He keeps going, I loved her. Oh my God. I loved the mum. I loved Lisa. I couldn't help myself. She was so beautiful. Blah, blah, blah. He says, he keeps repeating it over and over again. Is this a message to Lisa? What's he trying to say to Lisa in his book, I Still Love You? Seriously, guys. I'm asking you. In your comments, you tell me, guys. Do you think Michael Edwards was trying to make it clear to the grown-up Lisa that he still loved her in this book, and that is why it's in the book? Is that possible? Is it possible that he put it in the book because he wanted Lisa to know that he still loves her? Think about it, guys. I'm telling you. I'm just putting it out there for you guys. Does he keep saying that he loves Lisa because he wants her to know in 1989? Don't forget, if this book is 1989, he wrote it in 1988, 87. So only a few years after he split up from Priscilla, I feel that he's trying to tell Lisa that he still loves her. Am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong, guys. It's just something I'm seeing here. And the reason I'm saying it is because he keeps repeating it. Oh, I really love her. It's on every page. Right from where I started. So we're on page, in case anyone wants to know, it's page 217, chapter 29. Yep, he was a drinker as well as a cokehead. I know he babysat Lisa as well. But my point is, he keeps saying it over and over again 5 years after it happened. So, So let's say it again. I wanted to tell her I was in love with Lisa, but how do you tell the woman you're in love with that you're also in love with her daughter? I realized this was one thing I couldn't discuss with Priscilla. I was slipping off the edge, losing a grip on my sanity. I couldn't think clearly anymore. My feelings for Lisa were so strong, I realized I needed to get away from her before I went nuts. He says it again. I reckon 10 times he says it. Seriously. Yeah, I've seen Chris. I know that he's come out denying it. I know that his daughter is also saying that it's not true. But yeah, Tony says he's getting off on it. I'm wondering why it keeps getting repeated. I'm right. I think he says it 10 times. It's not like, now Priscilla in her book, I think Priscilla in her book, when she talks about being unfaithful to Elvis, she just briefly mentions it. She says, I got my dance lessons. I couldn't stop thinking about the dance instructor. Whenever I was with Elvis, all I could think about is being with Steve Peck, the dance instructor. It's on page 262. And then she says, we had a brief affair and ended it. This is what she says in the book, Elvis and Me. But this is different. She keeps repeating it again. He keeps repeating it again and again and again and again and again. I don't know. I don't know if that's relevant or not. It's just how I see it. I was slipping off the edge, losing grip of my sanity. I couldn't think clearly anymore. My feelings for Lisa were so strong, I realized I needed to get away from her before I went nuts. It was time for a separation. Priscilla and I talked, and by mutual consent, I moved out. We called it giving ourselves some space, but what it really amounted to was an attempt to break up. So they didn't break up. They didn't break up. Let's have a look. And then we go on to a new chapter. So, I don't know what to say, guys. I think that reading that, it's pretty clear. What I'm always going to say, because we are our YouTube channel, I have to say it's for entertainment purposes. Just opinions. It's all allegations, not proven, but we do believe Lisa. We do believe Lisa. Why would Riley leave it in the book? Riley didn't have to leave these allegations in the book. She could have just removed them. Riley didn't even have to finish the book. I always say this to people that try and slag off Riley, because Riley's got her enemies. Why would she leave it in the book? If she didn't want to defend her mother, why would she leave it in the book? If Riley wanted an easy life, she could have just kept it out of the book, couldn't she? She didn't have to mention anything negative about Priscilla or about Michael Edwards. She could have just left it all out and just created a lovely, sweet book, but she didn't. Riley chose to leave all the details in there, and you've got to respect that. That is how Riley defends her mum, by leaving it in the book, by promoting the book, by doing a book tour, by finishing the book. Riley could have put this book in a box under her bed and done nothing. Riley didn't have to finish this book. She chose to finish it. She chose to do a book tour. That's how I see it, guys. So I think Riley defends her mother in her own way. I think that her interviews that she's given recently have been beautiful. I don't think she's allowed to discuss these things. I think there's too many legal problems that may arise if she mentions these things. Priscilla's a very powerful woman. Priscilla is very experienced in lawsuits with lawyers. She may have Scientology in her back pocket. So Riley does have to be careful. Everyone has to be careful of Priscilla. She's a very cunning, smart, experienced businesswoman. She knows how to deal with the big boys. We know about the Bridget Cruz thing. To be honest with you, I think that whole situation with Bridget Cruz and Priscilla and Elvis Presley Enterprises and Joel Weishanker is a mess. Priscilla hasn't a clue how to manage money, which is still evident because she is in 3 lawsuits suing for $1 million, etc. Do you know what? All I think is she's been doing lawsuits on and off for 40 years. I agree she's useless with money. That's why she keeps spending it all. But she's got some good, big lawyers in her back pocket. I really believe that. I wonder why Lisa Marie did not take Edwards to court and got him charged with abuse before she died. It's a good point, Lily. Hi, Lily. I bet there is so much rules kept out. She's only did it because there are tapes and Lisa is gone. What can Priscilla say? Nothing. She can't blame Riley. It's on tape via Lisa and she's gone. I still say that Riley didn't have to finish the book. She wanted to finish the book. I think Riley made it priority. Right, I'm doing this book. When we had this sudden death, Riley didn't have to go, oh yeah, let's get on with this book. Let's do it now. Let's put a year of my life into finishing this book. But she did. She chose to finish it. I really believe that it was important to Riley to get this book done, get it out as quick as possible, which tells me she wanted the information out there. Yeah, Karen, she likes her little lawsuits. I see a lot of them, Prissy groups, they're posting lots of pics of Lisa. Pics aren't always what they seem worried about. The one who knows so much could write a wonderful story and would be Danny. And Lisa talked about and went through, but he has too much class. Tanya, definitely. 100%. 100%. I'd like to see them ask Prissy questions on the machine. They did with Elvis and Curry. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, to do with the book Child Bride, they used the book, didn't they, with Child Bride? And didn't Elvis do it as well? Elvis did a lie detector as well. Often people who were abused as children cannot do or not want to talk about it until the abuser dies. I see that, yeah. I believe we'll write a book from the tapes about Priscilla after Priscilla has gone. Maybe. But I think we are all agreed here that the book has been forgotten. The book has been brushed under the carpet. The allegations of abuse have been treated like it never happened. And no one is demanding justice for Lisa. I don't think. Who is demanding justice for Lisa? Not many. Hardly any. And that is so unfair. So unfair. So we will always mention it here every day. It's part of what we do, defending Elvis Presley. We will always bring it up because it needs to be brought up. It shouldn't be forgotten about. I think Lisa deserves that. I think the fact that she went out of her way to make those tapes, to ask Riley to finish the book, to help her with the book, yeah, she deserves that at least. My God, Chris, they treat Priscilla like she's Elvis. I always say this. Why is Priscilla treated like she is Elvis? It doesn't make sense. She gets a round of applause. She gets chased down the road by paparazzi. I'm Elvis. Look at me. Elvis is the love of my life. Elvis is the love of my life. I still love him. It doesn't make sense. She divorced him in, I know it was officially divorced in 73, but come on. Around 1970 they were over. She had a secret affair with Mike Stone for a year before it all came out, and then she demanded a divorce. They were finished around 1970. Now, don't forget, they had a fake little marriage between 1968 and 1970 as well. Their marriage hardly lasted. They got married May the 1st, 1967. The baby's born 9 months later. Within a few months, she has the affair with Steve Peck. Where was the marriage? There was no marriage. 10 months after, 10, 11, 12 months after the marriage, she's unfaithful with Steve Peck, the dance instructor. She puts it in this book, page 262. She clearly admits it. Lisa Marie is a baby in nappies. She's admitting, Priscilla's admitting the affair. There was no marriage. There was no marriage. The whole thing was a farce, and Elvis knew it. Elvis knew it, but he did stick it out for a bit. After he caught her being unfaithful when Lisa Marie was a baby in 68, he didn't want the embarrassment of a divorce. He had just had a very public marriage, a very public birth, and he's a Christian man, tried to do the right thing, but it was all thrown in his face. It was all thrown in his face because he does it all again. She does it all again in around 1970-71 with Mike Stone, the karate champion. Anyway, guys, I can't hold it now. I'm going to have to go. We've been on for an hour, so I'm going to have to say goodbye. We demand justice for Lisa Marie. We demand it. We demand it, guys. So, quite a late one for me. I'm going to go to bed. I'm very tired, but I just had this thing in me that I felt that we needed to have one more stab at talking about this book. I really felt it was important that we bring it up again. You're right, Louis. The book has been really quiet. I'm on Facebook, and Facebook has flooded out with Lisa Marie books. Now there's no book of Lisa Marie. Wait until Priscilla book comes out. Prissy must hate that she is not as famous as Elvis. Lisa is now. Riley, who was a model and actress, something Prissy isn't good at. I mean, I love Riley. Riley's got a long way to go, and we know Finley and Harper are going to skyrocket when they're older. When they're older, guys. Anyway, gotta go. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back on in the morning. I'll do some stuff on Elvis Presley fan on keto. Some light-hearted stuff there, and then we'll do the serious stuff happens here. The defending Elvis Presley stuff, defending Lisa Marie and the bloodline, it happens here. The light-hearted stuff, the health stuff, it's at Elvis Presley fan on keto. So please subscribe to both of my channels. Please like and subscribe to both my channels. Thanks, guys. I've loved it. Thank you for joining me in the UK for a chat and a read. And we will demand justice for Lisa Marie. Chris, thank you so much for all your comments. All of you, Tony, Helen, Deborah, Josie, Karen, Teresa, Elizabeth, all of you. There's many more of you. Thank you so much. And anyone that's watching that hasn't joined us before, you're very welcome to join in with our chat, join in with Team Elvis, and be part of what we do. We defend Elvis Presley every day. We defend Elvis Presley every day. Thanks, Tonya, Karen, Teresa, all of you. Peace out. I'll see you tomorrow morning.